Okay, this is the Wednesday, September the 12th office hours chat for College Learning Strategies 1010 with Dr. Sands. I am currently testing the audio and it looks like it's okay, and the video looks like it's okay as well. So I am going to share screen so that you guys can see what I see and make a couple of minor adjustments here. I'm going to switch my momentum screen to student view, if I can remember how to do that. View as banner student, there it is. Okay, so it should be a habit for you at least 2 or 3 times a week to check the momentum announcements for the course. So I'm scrolling down as a student. I see here that we're having office hour chats. There are links to week 1's video. There are links to week 2's video. And today I'm seeing that the topic of conversation is going to be service project and discussion board etiquette. Let me do the discussion board etiquette first so that I won't have to switch back and forth. But I did send you a message early this morning at about 8 o'clock just to remind you of discussion board etiquette. And I want to say this. Your discussion board responses are very strong in the initial post. I just think the replies are a little bit, hey, that's nice, let's move on. And so as part of the learning process, particularly for a web class, we want you to be able to communicate effectively with other students online because you don't have the experience of meeting with them in person. And collaborating in that way. So if we take a look at the netiquette or the etiquette, you see here that you should be using standard formal English. So you're avoiding words that would be used just in casual conversation, as if you're writing a friendly letter rather than communicating via chat. So a discussion board and a chat are different things. Read the messages out loud to yourself before submitting. Avoid emoticons, texting, or chat language. And obviously you guys know what emoticons are, texting is, and chat language. And I think that is the most difficult thing to do because we are communicating online and we're very accustomed to communicating informally online with friends and family. But when you're working in a discussion board, presume that you are going to be turning this document in for an assignment grade, and that will help you maintain that standard formal English. And then the only thing else that I really wanted to point out is avoid generic statements such as I agree with you. Be precise with your responses and avoid copying and pasting the same response to 2 or 3 or 4 different people. The discussion board is public and everyone can see it, and give that other person the time and energy you would expect in a reply. So that's all we have right here as far as discussion board etiquette goes. Let's take a look. One of the things that I do as a student frequently when I come to this class is I go into the course materials and the content, and I click on the week, and we are currently in week 3. And so I see all of these documents, the College Learning Strategies PowerPoint, which I will review, the Career Test Results Worksheet, the Career Service Project Proposal, and so on and so forth. So what I will do to talk about the service project is I will click on the link for the Career Service Project. And one thing that we need to do is so that we can use this document, put information on it, save it, scan it, print it, is we always want to download. So I'm downloading that document, I'm saving it to my computer. And so now let's take a look at the Career Services document. Okay, so basically this is the first document that is due for a grade into our class. Basically, you complete your name, the organization that you wish to volunteer with, the address of that organization, the supervisor there who is going to allow you to do volunteer work, and the supervisor's phone number. And then you're just going to briefly describe the duties that you will perform as a volunteer. Now, let me say this. If your strong interest inventory or your career assessment comes back and says that you need to work in the health sciences field, Obviously, it's going to be hard for you to do volunteer work in an emergency room at Children's Hospital. But that doesn't mean that you can't do volunteer hours in a hospital, answering phones, or working in a waiting room. I know frequently volunteers work in waiting rooms, or shadow someone in an area that there's not a high level of confidentiality. So you want to try to at least get in the general field. You may want to shadow someone who works at the front desk. You may want to shadow different employees, and you're going to spend 8 hours there. It doesn't have to be 8 hours in the same day. It could be 8 hours over the course of several days. It can be on any day of the week. So you want to make sure this is a situation where you're going to be able to do things that are going to help you volunteer. Now, we do have some links to some sites that will lead you to suggestions as well. So if you have a difficult time finding a location, send me an email. Let me know what your career results are, what your major is going to be, if you know that, and I'll see if I can help you narrow down a few things. How will this service enhance your education? And describe the reflection activity you wish to perform. Okay, so what are you going to do as a result of this experience? So then that document will be uploaded and placed in Dropbox, just like everything else. So that is the Career Service Project proposal, and that's in week 3. Then I'm just scanning over to week 4, week 5, week 6, career interview questions. All right, so here's an example of the career interview questions, because those are going to be due as well. So these are the questions. Let me go ahead and download this document, because this is the interview I'm going to conduct with the person with whom I'm working at the location. So what do you like most about this job? What do you like least or enjoy about your job? Now, remember, you're not emailing a list of questions and having them type the answers. You're actually having a conversation with this person, either on the phone or in person, and you're going to make an appointment with that person, and you're going to clearly explain who you are and why you're interviewing, and make sure you're early, wear appropriate dress, and that kind of thing, because you are speaking to this person who is an expert in their field, and you want to have some great information. And so basically you will type up the answers to these questions, save it as a Word document or as a Google document, and then you will upload it to Dropbox. And then there should be a timesheet included where your hours are verified. Let me see if I can find that. Okay, I do not see the evaluation here. And it might be just because I'm sitting here with you trying to figure it all out. I'm going to try to find it in my computer. So let's see. Here's the time log, and here's the verification. I'm going to put these in as announcements. Okay, the verification evaluation form looks like this. I'm going to attach it to the announcement so that you will have it. And this is where the person who works there that's supervising you evaluates you and scores you, so that we can give you a grade and says, yes, this person did perform the hours of service. This happens at the end. So this is an important document. And then this is your time log, which is also an important document that you want every time you go there. You want to put the time, the description of the service, the time in, the time out, and the supervisor's signature. If you do all of your hours at one time, then obviously you're only going to fill up one line. So you need to keep the project time log, and you want to keep the evaluation log for the very end, and then you're going to do the interview. So I'm going to make it easy for you, and I'm going to attach all of these documents in the news so that you can reach them all at the same time. So no one is online with me today, which means I don't have any questions, but I do want to review just really quickly for those people who may be still struggling with the Dropbox. Now, just quickly about the assessments. If for quiz taking, you just click on quiz and it takes you to the quiz. They're all always available. These are open book quizzes, so that's pretty self-explanatory. And then you can go to Dropbox and you turn in just about everything in Dropbox. So your career service evaluation is the document I just showed you, the career service time log, I showed you that as well, and the proposal, and then the career interview. So the service project is 4 100-point grades. It takes a tremendous amount of space in the grade book, and it weighs quite a bit. So make sure you are aware how important that career service project is, and that you get on with it and don't let the semester pass you by. We're only 10 weeks for this course, so we want to make sure that we do that. So if I go back to the career services items, for example, the career service proposal, I'll click here and then I will click add a file. I will open up my document that I've saved in Microsoft Word and I will attach it, or I will scan or take a photograph of the document that I have been doing by hand, and I will send it electronically by posting it as an attachment to Dropbox. So those are the only things I have for you right now, but I do want you to really focus on figuring out what you want to do for your career service project this week so that you can be successful, get through it, and not be forcing everything at the very end of the term. So thanks so much. I think that might be all we have today. Feel free to email me or call me if you have questions. I am available most of the time, but please make sure you send email to the roanstate.edu email. The eLearn email that's inside Momentum is not the right method. Let me go ahead and share screen again and show you. The email that's in Momentum is right here. This is the eLearn email, and if you get a message from me, it is through this site, it's because it's an automatic response. So sometimes I send emails to people if there's something missing, or if there's something that they need to pay attention to that the computer can automatically send information to. But the email that you need to focus on communicating with most of the time, especially with me if you want a response, is your RadarNet email. And so you just click on RadarNet, and then I have a student here who's asking a question about the career test, so I will be able to reply to that. But if it had come, the reason why I'm saying this is because I get all of my notifications through my iPhone. So when I check my email on my iPhone, I cannot link the Momentum eLearn email addresses to my iPhone. I can only link the Exchange email address through RadarNet. So I forward those emails so that I know that they're coming, but I cannot reply from RadarNet to eLearn. I have to reply to a regular Roan State EDU email address in order to communicate back and forth with you. So if you have emailed me and you've not gotten a prompt response, it's because you have not emailed me through my RadarNet Roan State email address from your Roan State email address, because you're checking this email several times a day because this is our primary method of communication. So let me see if I can answer her question. She's having trouble finding the career test. Okay, she's talking about the Strong's link. So I'm just going to respond to her in just a few minutes. And remember, when you go into course materials and you go into content, you take a look at week 2. All of the information you need for the career assessments is actually in week 3. So there's the worksheet and a document that lists the career website. So you will go there and you will follow the instructions for the career websites. And then as far as the Strong's assessment, If we go back to Momentum homepage and we scroll down for the news, you will look right here in announcements for the Strong's link. Welcome to week 3. Concept cards are there. Okay, Strong's interest inventory is on week 2, and it's connected to a link right here. So that's where you can find it. Okay, so I think that's the only question. I want to say thank you for coming. Let me just say very quickly, I'm very pleased with the work I'm seeing. I know there are a lot of tiny little assignments, but remember, you're taking an accelerated course that moves at a very fast pace, and you're taking it online. So you're jumping through a whole lot of hurdles to get this class out of the way so you can focus on your other classes for the rest of the term. So enjoy the term, keep working hard, establish those habits, managing your calendar, and using those learning strategies with concept cards, 2-column notes coming up, and you'll get through it. Just don't forget about the service learning project. Thanks so much and have a great week.